The allegations of corruption, the service awards are bound, and we cannot debate them, we cannot discuss them. What should we do? It is only seeming that now the foreign countries are the ones doing the job we are supposed to do.
We are a sovereign country. I mean, UK cannot come and run our country. They cannot.
Thanks for the guidance, Right Honourable Speaker.
We are going to handle the issue of the corruption, that is okay. Perceived corruption. You know, somebody should be proved that, like the ministers who are in the court.
If you're saying you only bothered about a visa to Bukedia, then you shouldn't be consumed by this issue, Right Honourable Speaker.
Omusumba ye n'asaba n'agamba bagawukule gagende wakumukuma 13
era mbyagalira ddala pulezidenti wange
be twasaba bajje batusabire tebakoze eki tebalabise.
Parliament is not a platform for business. It's a place where we talk about issues that concern the common persons.
Kabaka yazala emipi ne basakanya. Kabaka yazala mara mtaa, kabaka yazala pipi ntaa.
nze ndowooza nti ekibiina kyetaaga mpuuga.
Basala kunyonyola sente zo zifuna
Sente nzirinze. Abamutuufu okukaayana ng'awulidde waliwo emiliyoni 5 ezitategeerekeka.
I had never seen them made into beggars. Senior citizen begging on their soldier.
Tutu and Honorable Nanduta in court, but the principle of presumption of innocence still stands. Yes.
That the Minister for Foreign Affairs will be making a statement. I really think it's important because this is a matter that really touches on our diplomatic relations. And for purposes of just avoiding uncoordinated troop movements, it will be important that the government states its position early enough to guide the debate and discussion. Otherwise, there is a very big likelihood of creating a diplomatic imbroglio arising out of the statements that we may make. Right Honourable Speaker, for me, at the risk of anticipating what is in the statement, at the risk, the UK has a right to sanction anybody. It's really their right. And I don't think anybody should be concerned or bothered. Let them sanction whoever they want. It is really their sovereign right. But what should also happen is that they should respect the sovereign right of other countries. Because you see, you run a risk. You run a risk. I am on procedure. You run a risk, Right Honourable Speaker. We run a risk of undermining each other. So, Right Honourable Speaker, the procedural issue I raise is whether it is not procedurally right for the Minister of Foreign Affairs to first adumbrate the position of government before this matter is debated.
Thank you.
And you did say that for you don't care if they want to freeze, you don't even have a postcard, they can go ahead. If, Madam Speaker, that is your conclusion, is there, and this is the procedural issue, is there a need for government to issue a statement when one of the persons sanctioned has said she does not care? This matter is not serious. So is there a need for government to again issue a statement if you have closed the matter in that fashion?
I'm not an Anita. Me, I can go back and be in my village. Honorable Minister, no, let's first hear from the Honorable Minister.
That is not based on any ground, violates the tradition, the setting up of the institution, and it borders on the UK government violating the principle and the rules of engagement. And we, as citizens of Uganda, and who contribute to that international organization, we need to express our displeasure. We cannot only allow government to express displeasure because the taxpayers of this country contribute to that institution. And you now, you are not only the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, you are the head of the presiding officers and the Speakers' Conference. And that position to wish all the members of the Commonwealth accorded you because of your integrity, your sincerity, and the service you have rendered to this institution. And therefore, these sanctions questions the participation, and all Commonwealth parliaments need to raise their voice because it brings double standard of the UK government and our participation. Whereas we receive development support, but most of this development support alone to which the taxpayers of Uganda pay, this needs to be put on record. Therefore, Madam Speaker, we request the Minister of Foreign Affairs to engage the government of UK and other Commonwealth members to express our displeasure. If other countries, it wasn't that President Museveni sometimes is very diplomatic, we would even consider withdrawing our participation in the Commonwealth Speakers Conference and the institution. Because as of now, you coordinate the entire operation. How can they use, in the UK, the Conservative government do not believe in homosexuality and lesbianism. In the US, the Republicans don't believe in it. So this double standard must be rejected, and we need to communicate to the people of this country and to the world. I therefore propose that the Minister of Foreign Affairs, without wasting much time, need to engage at more high level and to express our displeasure as the Parliament of Uganda. I beg to.
Thank you.
They had investigated this matter, and according to them, the people they took to court are those they found with incriminating evidence. And they said the others, the cases, the files had been closed. That's what the DPP actually said.
Honorable member, if the Karamojong team was here, they would bear me witness. When the issue came up on the Mabati, I said, I hope the Mabati that was put at my gate, because it was dropped at my gate. The gate of my school was not part of Karamoja Mabati. And I said, if they were, I will immediately return. So when the investigation went on, I said, give the schools, government schools, give the government schools the Mabati. I came back after finding out that that was the Mabati and refunded. I was the first person, without anybody saying it, and refunded the iron sheets and said, have your iron sheets, I don't need them. Because if they are meant for Karamoja, they are meant for Karamoja, not for my place. And I've never been to any court of corruption. And who says it is only Karamoja that would need Mabati? Even if they went to Teso, even if they went to Lamu, even if they went to where. But honorable members, this is a test on us. A test on us, which we must prove. Ekudo, Dakas.
Some ministers said that the ashes came through their windows to their compounds and they were let scot-free. The unfortunate ones, the three, were arraigned before court, and others are continuing to occupy the front bench. And the president made a very simple promise: I'm going to follow them. I'm going to follow them. Where is the following we were talking about? So to me, honorable members, right honorable speaker, you better seize the opportunity. Seize the opportunity and say no to corruption. Lead the way so that as a country we can stand by you But when this institution is full of loopholes, the allegations of corruption, the service awards are bound, and we cannot debate them, we cannot discuss them, what should we do? It is only seeming that now the foreign countries are the ones doing the job we are supposed to do. So I don't want members to hide about sovereignty of the country.
They cannot search.
Yes.
We cannot, we're a sovereign country. I mean, UK cannot come and run our country. They cannot.
Thanks for the guidance, Right Honourable Speaker.
We are going to handle the issue of the corruption, that is okay. Perceived corruption. You know, somebody should be proved that, like the ministers who are in the court. There are so many people about how many, Honorable Board, do you want to say something?
Before you can come up, Speaker, let us start with our...
And secondly, I don't get handouts from those countries. There is an order.
I don't know why someone wants to put the speaker on order. Right Honourable Speaker, no one has said you get handouts from these countries.
Order.
We are talking about...
Order, Madam Speaker. Order.
Right Honourable Speaker, we are talking about the sanctions, which indicated corruption, Mabati theft, different things. That which you're saying is a different matter. I don't know if somebody is accusing you of getting handouts from these countries. That has not come up, and that's not the issue. For me, my concern is, if you're saying you only bothered about a visa to Vokedia, then you shouldn't be consumed by this issue, Right Honourable Speaker. You shouldn't be, because you also seem to be rallying us to join you in being angry over this matter. Because your concern is Vokedia, Right Honourable Speaker.
No, leader of opposition.
But finally, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to implore government.
Switch on.
Thank you. I want to implore government, Right Honourable Speaker. Government, do not wait for foreign countries to sanction individuals, whether it be involved in Mabati theft, in corruption, and so on. Take action. Why do you wait for that? And then you begin to complain. When you're going to beg for aid, you don't complain. When they say now that we give you aid, that aid should not be stolen.
From Ogwang.
He's asking for clarification. I'll get it shortly.
Honourable members.
Don't wait. As government, take action against corruption.
Leader of opposition. Leader of opposition. Leader of opposition.
We live in a country where the regime has effectively captured, undermined, and destroyed all mechanisms that can hold officials accountable. They are no longer accountable to anybody for as long as someone is connected to the regime. No one can hold them accountable for their wrongdoing. I mean, let's take an example of Anita Mong, the Speaker of Parliament. She embezzles billions of taxpayers' money, and evidence is actually presented to the public, but nobody can do anything. Instead of calling her to account, General Museveni comes out to defend her, to protect her, and to support her. Instead of going after her, the law enforcement agencies instead go after every and any whistleblower that dares to speak out against her corruption, to the extent that some have actually run out of the country and some are in hiding. That is impunity. You all remember the students that tried to protest against the theft of the iron sheets that were meant for Karamoja. Many of them spent months in prison, while those that were involved in this grand theft were either rewarded, and those that were pretentiously held to account were only imprisoned for a few hours. It's because of impunity that the police will not summon Anita Mong for questioning. Because of impunity, the IGG will not investigate her. The DPP will not sanction charges against her. The courts of law will not summon her. The Auditor General has also been bought and silenced by another service award. Any MP that raises or dares to raise the issue is quickly silenced and humiliated on the floor of Parliament by the same Anita Mong. That is impunity. She then continues to live large, enjoying her stolen money. I mean, nobody can touch her, nobody can say a word. No one can call her to account. And that is how those who have killed our people in hundreds go scot-free and elude justice. That is why people who abduct, torture, kill our people, or even rape our supporters are moving around scot-free. And many of them are actually given red carpet reception at public functions. You saw the man that undressed for people being appointed RDC by General Museveni. That is impunity. Like many other institutions of state, the Uganda Human Rights Commission has also been effectively co-opted and destroyed. And that's why you can see Wangadia supporting and ridiculing, supporting the abduction and rape and even sodomy of our supporters in CMI detention. That is impunity. You see her mocking the victims of injustice, the victims of torture, the victims of abduction. That is impunity. She even goes as far as trying to silence the victims of abduction and trying to intimidate their families and co-opt them into silence and compromise. That is impunity. So, with the state of affairs, citizens are left with only two options: either to rise up and put an end to this nonsense once and for all using whatever means are available to them, or to appeal to the international community to take measures including sanctions, which the regime has clearly refused to take against its corrupt and criminal officials. Ladies and gentlemen, travel bans, asset freezes and others, may not put the corrupt and brutal officials in prison, but at least they go far to block them from enjoying with impunity or even invest their stolen money, the money they stole from poor Ugandans, in their countries. These countries have their act together. These countries are well governed and they respect the rule of law. So we see no need or no importance whatsoever for them to accept impunity, to accept corrupt officials that steal from us. These people deny the regime officials that run away with our money opportunity to enjoy it in their countries. And we really, really appreciate those sanctions. We welcome them. These sanctions reassert the duty of civilized nations because they should never be seen to sit back as actions against poor people are going on with reckless abandon. These regime officials that have destroyed, underdeveloped, and looted their countries because they think they can enjoy life with their families in developed countries, the wealth that they steal from poor Ugandans, at least we have a way forward here. So we welcome these sanctions and we want these thieves, these corrupt officials, to lay in the bed that they laid. They've destroyed their countries, they've messed up Uganda, they've messed up our healthcare system, they've messed our education system because they get all their healthcare from abroad and indeed they die from abroad. They've messed up our country and they want to enjoy the countries that are well governed at the cost of the poor people. So we are happy that these sanctions have been slapped on those officials and we want more sanctions on General Museveni, his son, and all his officials that he uses to crack down on the rights of the people. They should go to Ugandan hospitals. They should have their children go to Ugandan schools. They should buy cosmetics from Uganda.
Omusumba ye n'asaba n'agamba bagawugule gagende wakumuluma 13
gavumenti yatumukuzanira ku mitwe
era mbyagalira ddala pulezidenti wange
be twasaba bajje batusabire tebakoze eki tebalabise.
Parliament is not a platform for business. It's a place where we talk about issues that concern the common persons.
Kabaka yazaala MUP, aba-MUP ne basakanya. Kabaka yazaala NRM, Kabaka yazaala DP nta.
Nze ndowooza nti ekibiina kyetaaga mpuuga.
Basaala kunnyonnyola sente zo wazifuna.
Sente nzirinze. Aba mutuufu okkaayana ng'awulidde waliwo miliyoni 5 ezitategeerekeka.
I had never seen them made into beggars. Senior citizen begging on their soldier.
Tugenda kwekalakasa paka bulungi.